So we know the issues, we know about energy, we know about the border, we know Joe Biden doesn't know what he's doing. We know all that, we get all that. But why do this? Why do this here tonight with Legacy PAC? Because there's a whole lot of people who have the passion to save this country who need help getting off the ground.
The purpose of Legacy PAC is to save America. That's our mission. That's what we really want to do because America's worth saving.
I am by trade, I'm a cybersecurity engineer. Okay, so this is my first run in politics. We need more conservative Republicans standing up and fighting for the Constitution.
We're an America First PAC, and we want to promote and help our up-and-coming candidates, and we're going to be holding the line for President Trump.
I joined the Army at 17 years old. My first day at my first unit, which was 25th Infantry, was September 10th, 2001. So the next day was 9/11. And I spent about a total of a decade between Iraq and Afghanistan in country. So my country means everything to me. When I realized that if people like myself who don't want to be politicians don't start stepping up and taking these seats, that nothing's going to change, then I said, okay, I'll do it.
Who deserves to lead the people of this country more than those who serve this country? So I'm behind every one of them. So let's make sure we get more veterans into power. I'm all for it.
Remember why you're involved. We have to make sure people remain humble and not engage in self-glorification. You are here for one reason, and that is to save the country. Period. End of story.
And for those candidates who are looking uphill and wondering how, keep your head down, focus on the target, and outwork everybody. And I promise you, you're not gonna lose. You're either gonna win on election night or you change the game on election night. So God bless you guys. Thank you so much, Legacy PAC.
Thank you, Legacy PAC.
Under this administration, they have deliberately opened the border to fundamentally change the fabric of our country.
I'm Jared Craig with Legacy PAC. We are here at Eagle Pass, Texas, to bring attention to the border crisis, to educate the voters, the citizens of the United States, and the candidates running for federal office, the importance of a secure border.
And at Legacy PAC, we want to bring candidates here to the border to see it firsthand, because there is nothing like being here, seeing this. We saw women and children climbing over barbed wire. There is no reason why we cannot secure this border. There is no reason to keep this open. This is not humane. So we need to get Victor and all these other good America First candidates into office.
We at Legacy PAC depend on your donation and support to support these projects. We can't do it without you. So please go on to legacypac.org and show your support.
And Stan, where's Stan? Stan is with Veterans for Trump.
Thank you, Martha.
Thank you all. We're honored. I know there are so many organizations represented here today.
You're sitting here too much. But you're going to do very well. And I just had somebody write down, first of all, James and Sarah Pritchard, thank you very much. Yes. Great job. Thank you. We appreciate all the help. Stanley and Donna Fitzgerald.
Right here, sir.
Thank you very much. It's great. It's great that you're with us. Mike Acton.
Hi, this is Stan Fitzgerald, Veterans for Trump, and I'm here with my friend Tiffany Savage. We've been working with Tiffany in Georgia for almost 4 years now, going back to was it MAGA Drag?
It was, yes.
So Tiffany's a patriot. She's been working for America First, probably longer than I have. So we are going to be announcing today that she's joining our organization as an ambassador. And thank you, Tiffany. We're glad to have you.
Oh, I am honored. I am absolutely honored to be amongst such wonderful people with veterans and supporting President Trump. This is really quite an honor.
So most of you probably know her as politically savvy, other than her name. And we want to get to know you a little bit. So can you tell us a little bit about your background, Tiffany?
Sure. I have been a part of the Georgia GOP. I'm 43, and I've been a part of the Georgia GOP since I was 21. Um, I am a delegate for the state of Georgia and a part of Gwinnett County GOP. I was the organizer for MAGA Drag the Interstate in Georgia during 2019, 2020, 2021, the patriotic car rallies that you saw all over the state and nationwide, in fact. And I remember back in 2001, President Trump was on the radio on Sean Hannity, and I was on the way home from work. And of course, it was after 9/11. And I just remember being captivated by President Trump at that time. And Sean Hannity asked him a question and said, "Would you ever consider running for president?" And I said audibly in the car by myself, "If that man ever runs, I will do whatever I can do to get elected, and I will work for him one day." And 22 years later, we're so very close. I come from a line of all veterans since they came over here in 1620, and every man in my lineage has been a veteran. All have fought, some have died for our country, and I am just honored to be a part of Veterans for Trump. So I feel like I can sort of add to the history.
Well, absolutely, and we're blessed to have you join us. Let's talk politics a little bit. You're from Georgia, and we have a rift here in Georgia that we're working on trying to heal between what is perceived as the establishment and the MAGA movement. I don't know that it's fixable. Well, I mean, we'd like to get everybody rallied behind our nominee. What are your thoughts on Georgia politics, and how do we unify the base, and is that even possible?
Yes, we can fix it, actually. It's not an overnight fix. And this is why I've used my platform to encourage each and every person to get involved within their local and state parties. If we have constitutional conservatives that are ready to make a difference, go down in the history books as the last great fight, right? Because this is it, to save our country. It starts at the local level. So if we can get constitutional conservatives, MAGA Republicans, to basically, for lack of a better term, infiltrate the GOP, take over, get to know those candidates, take over those committee seats, back candidates that are America first after they have been fully vetted. And then that will only just funnel upwards, because saving our nation is one thing, but you can't do that unless you have the state behind you and the representatives that are fighting for you. But it can be done. In the Georgia legislature right now, we have a handful of folks that, are getting kickback from the establishment, and they haven't stopped. And we need to, as a collective, support them, give them a call, encourage them, ask where they can be of service. A lot of these candidates will get funding from the GOPs, right? They get it from, every average person here, $5, $10 here, there. So they won't necessarily have the funding to pay, but being a volunteer on their campaign, to door knock, to make phone calls, that speaks volumes, and those candidates will not forget it.
And that's one of the things we're trying to do to motivate people across the country, exactly what Tiffany said. And she filmed for an upcoming documentary we're putting out, and we're looking forward to seeing her in that. And that's exactly the message that our veterans and influencers and law enforcement officers will be promoting to get out the vote for the president.
Yeah.
And speaking of the president, before I let you go, I know you're hit with the flu. Talk to me about the Banana Republic persecutions, the weaponization of the DOJ against our president and our friends here in Georgia.
Oh, it's it's very sad to see, because what we're seeing is failed attempt after failed attempt after failed attempt to try to silence President Trump and to also disenfranchise voters. Voters will see all of this garbage on your mainstream media channels and be like, you know what? It's just too much. It's just, I just can't. It's just too much drama. But President Trump has a track record of success working for the American people, working for our economy, working for our veterans and the care that they need, completely, dismantling and rebuilding the VA for, for the Black community, for American jobs, for American workers, for border security, being energy dominant. He did all of these things while he was in office. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say that the whole time he was in office, when he did have these accomplishments, he still had every single day arrows being shot from all directions. And yet he still provided for the American people. And that's exactly what he will do again. It makes me laugh when I see, when I even hear of conservatives or Republicans, mainly, but also moderates and Democrats saying, well, what about President Trump weaponizing the DOJ against his political opponents? And I'm like, whoa, wait a second. That's what's been happening now for the past 7 years. But it's very tunnel vision. And you can only do so much on social media. You have to actually get out in your community, have meaningful conversations with your neighbors, go to the communities you're not necessarily in, learn what's important to them. That's huge. And then be able to talk to them about the proven track record of President Trump, but also what President Trump's plan is for 2024 and moving forward. And I will also note that this just doesn't end with President Trump. This fight must continue even after his term in office in 2024. It's a constant battle. And you know what? It will be a tough one, but you got to lace up those bootstraps. I think of my revolutionary forefathers. They just couldn't say, oh, okay, well, I'm tired today. They were separated by wars and by, hundreds of miles when they were fighting for our fledgling little country, right? We need to honor them by doing everything that we know how to do in current day.
Well, like Tiffany said, we're here for the long run, for past President Trump's third win. Originally, we're Veterans for Trump from 2015, and we're using that name now, but we're Veterans for America First legally, and we intend on using that for an infinite amount of time and supporting this country. And people like Tiffany are going to help us vet the candidates and get the right people in office. And more importantly, this cycle help get President Trump for his third straight win.
Absolutely.
So thank you, Tiffany, and politically savvy. You're a Trump campaign influencer. You work with the South Carolina Trump campaign, which our organization is part of. How could people find you on social media?
Yes. So my largest platform is on Twitter, X, and I'm at Patriot Savvy. You can put in, though, in any platform that you're on, the real politically savvy or politically savvy, and then you'll see my mug with my red MAGA hat, because the MAGA hat stays on. And then I also, when I'm able to, travel with the campaign to locations where they're having rallies. And I love being able to do that because I'll go up a couple days before and meet with grassroots organizations, meet with America First candidates, highlight their efforts, what they're doing, give any insight, tips, tricks to help them grow, and then even be boots on the ground with them, door knocking. I will be at 2 gun shows, one next weekend in Cartersville, and in February I'll be at the Atlanta Gun Expo, registering people to vote, and also voter education, because that's very, very, very important. A majority of the people who are registered to vote, well, especially as it pertains to Georgia, they don't know when election day is. So you got to take that extra step to have the conversations and educate the voters. So I'm a little bit everywhere.
Well, thank you for the ongoing work you're doing for our country and for President.
Thank you.
And we look forward to continue working with you for years to come.
I can't wait, Stan. I absolutely love you. Give my love to your wife too. I love her so much.
Thank you, my friend, and we'll talk to you.
You're welcome. Okay, sounds good.
Bye-bye now.
Trump 2024.
Yes, ma'am.